What's going on, guys? Welcome back to SCDT. Today I have a relatively short update for you. This is SCDT 1.5 and this is the update that introduced sounds. Introduced? Well, if you're watching this in the future, then yes, this is the update that introduced sounds. If you're watching this today, like you should be doing, this is the update that introduces sounds. Anyway, I'm going to make light of that mess up. Here we have new, cleaner text. There's going to be no rambling in this episode. HD font, Tale of a Font by Tatanokai. This will be in the description if you want to go download it for yourself. This is a slightly edited version of the font, however, because these diagonals are slightly different, especially the V's as well. They are slightly different. If you haven't already seen this font in my LP, then this is what it is. It basically makes Minecraft font HD. This was an idea suggested by a guy called Kami-kun, who is a common watcher of mine, and he basically said that if you're going to make your own texture pack, why would you keep to the 16 by 16 bit rate of Minecraft for the text? I mean, it works for blocks because blocks, fit into the 16 by 16 bit world, but for text, why would you keep to it? There's no real reason to. So I listened to his advice and I downloaded this HD font, and you can only see when you zoom in really close the tiny pixels on the corner of the D there, for example. So, new font. Looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. Moving on, we have torches. I preach a lot about conformity. Conformity is a big deal in my opinion. I think if things look unconformed, then it just doesn't work at all. That's exactly what I was talking about before with the HD font. If you were to have a block next to another block, but this one was 16-bit and this one was 32-bit, it doesn't look right. They don't look right. They just don't link up together and it looks out of place. So I did exactly that with torches. I've kept to my conformity. I lay 3 torches next to each other, the default torch, redstone torch, and the redstone torch in its off state, and basically the sticks of them were still the default sticks for the redstone torches. I've very simply copied over the stick from the regular torch and put it onto the redstone torch and the redstone torch in the off state. Very simple change. Just simple as that. Done. No real questions asked. Moving on, we have the Ender Crystal. Ender Crystal is just slightly nicer on the eyes now. It just looks more like a splat when you look at the middle of the little square cube thing. Apart from that, every aspect of it is exactly the same. Looking pretty good. Moving on, we have some things which have been removed. For example, the pumpkin GUI. This was never a thing I featured because it was a hidden feature, but now, if you ever download my pack in the future, the pumpkin GUI is the same as before. I'll likely be changing this again in the future, but for now, we're going to just stick with this because this is just how it should be. You're looking through a pumpkin. It should look like a pumpkin. So, there we go. If you have an older pack, go load it up now and see what the GUI looks like whilst wearing a pumpkin in that, because it looks really cool. I've removed it because it's not really right, but still, you get the idea. Squids. Squids were random texture using in the old versions of Minecraft, and they had red and white variations of their colour. You can see this guy's a little bit lighter blue than the regular squid. If I spawn a few here, you'll see that we have a blue one, a purple one, a cyan one, we should eventually get a black one. There are now only 4 squid textures. There were originally 6. One of them was red, one of them was white, but it was just too much of a differentiation from the default squid texture. So I'm just going to go with these default 4 like this, because the purple and cyan and black look kind of close to the blue. Squids make really weird sounds now, by the way. Yeah. And that's about it. That's all for today, really. Bar one thing that I've not gone into yet, and this change involves the end. And these guys, the Endermen, and yes, they do have green and blue eyes. You can see that's a blue-eyed Enderman. We have a green-eyed Enderman, pink-eyed, orange-eyed, and that's all of them. And the reason why we're here today is to discuss some cool things to do with Endermen. I'm going to make a poor man's Enderman farm actually here to demonstrate. I have been starting to edit some sounds recently. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time because the sound options in Minecraft are incredible. This game has a lot of sounds, like more sounds than blocks and other textures by far. It has hundreds of sounds. I'd say in the thousands probably. It probably has thousands of sounds. So I went into the sound files and I've only edited a few so far. The next update will be called the sound update for SCDT. This one's just kind of like a minor tweak. I haven't even thought of a name for it yet. But as you can see here, if we go into game mode 0, yeah, I've been doing a lot of things you can see there. If I look at the Enderman, you'll hear something pretty cool. Notice me, someone, please. That right there was the very, very kind of well-known Slenderman sound, and it's now playing the Slenderman like backing music as well. You see, if I get a few more guys here, it'll become louder and more often as well. Let's get that guy over there. Ooh, don't kill me, please. Stand in the middle. Okay, good. Ooh. See how loud and cutting that is? It's horrible. It's actually terrifying. I love it though. It's just so cool. It's a bit quieter when they're really far away, but when you look at someone up close, oh my god, it's terrifying. Now, essentially, the way this works is that when you look at an Enderman, he plays a sound called Enderman Stare. This is the sound that obviously gets played when you stare at an Enderman, as the name suggests. And before I edited it, this sound is the very, very iconic, like, well-known sound that the Enderman makes. I'll play it in the video right now. And there you go, it's a relatively long and annoying sound, so I decided to change it to a more iconic sound that's recognisable by a lot of players, which is quite simply... Why are these end portals here? Which is quite simply... That's the Ender Dragon egg, but there is an end portal there. Interesting. Which is quite simply the Slenderman scream, weird radio static sound thing he makes, and it's a terrifying jump scare noise that just... I've always loved that sound, basically. I love the idea of being scared. It's actually quite fun. But more on that some other day. But yeah, essentially how the sounds work in the background, which is obviously people recognise as the backing music from the original Slenderman game, the way that works is essentially every time an Enderman like screams, it's called the Enderman Scream, it has 4 scream tones. So when you get an Enderman aggressive, you'll hear that sound when they get aggressive. I've replaced 2 of those with the booming sound that you get when you're playing Slender, and also just the backing music in general that you get when you play Slender. So I'm going to show you that one more time here. I'm going to get myself some stone brick like that. I'm not sure what these guys are doing, but they all seem to be latched onto me. I have a feeling that when I go back to game mode 0, they're going to just like slaughter me. Let's have a look. So game mode 0, we're going to show you this one more time. Come on. Someone? Anyone? I know it's going to happen and it still scares me. And yeah, those sounds that you're hearing right now, those are technically the Enderman screaming at me. But it's just playing music instead, basically. I think that's quite a... I'm not even using surround sound right now. This is my bad headset with a good microphone. This is terrifying. I know it's going to happen, but it's still terrifying. What's up, buddy? How are you? Yeah, they were out of range then, as you could hear. Because I looked at them and he didn't play the sound. It's because they were out of range. Out of range again. They were in range apparently. And if I give myself a strength buff now, so I can go effect, Excalibur, strength, 255, 255. Then I can just kill these guys in one punch, you can see here. And we're fine. And essentially this sound that's being played right now, it will stop when there's no Enderman screaming at me, as you can see. So all the Endermen that were angry have now been killed, so the sound they make when they are angry can no longer be played. But if I was to look at some more again, as you'll see, I'll bring this guy into range right here. There's one guy. There's 2 guys. When they walk into range, it'll start to play the backing sounds when they use the scream command, as you can see there. We've got the backing music itself there, and you'll occasionally hear the drum as well. Play the drum sound, please. There's the drum sound. So yeah, I really like that.